Hello everybody and welcome to the meeting report from the Flux National Steerco meeting held on the 13th of May 2018. This is MacLeod here giving you the update. And the agenda and attendees can be seen on screen. All of these slides are available for review at docs.flux.party. So if you want to have a closer look at the slides, they're available online. So the items that were addressed at this meeting, essentially there was a review of the previous priorities and actions defined at the April meeting. There was discussion around preparation for a potential early federal election and what that would involve. There would be discussion on setting up working groups, discussion on involving the state branches with Steerco, any other business, and then priorities for the next month. So on the screen now there's a list of the tasks from the task list spreadsheet where we keep all of the tasks listed. The first 6 were the tasks that were defined at the previous Steerco, and tasks 7 onwards were new tasks that came about via discussions, online discussions and conversations during the month. And these are the areas that at this time that the Steerco is going to focus on making some progress with. So in light of recent events, we had some discussions around the probability of an election being called early. At the time there was information that there could be a chance that an election could be called in August, September, and if that was the case, that would mean we would have to get on the front foot now. So one of the initial things that was identified is that our new member onboarding process must be addressed. At the moment when people sign up, they receive the initial email telling them that they've been signed up, but we don't do a very good job in converting that initial interest into active volunteers. We will also need to look at developing a high-level campaign strategy so that it can be rolled out as quickly as possible should an early election be called. So this will involve identifying resources across all of the different states, and also the candidate selection process. So for the candidate selection, what we need to define is a standardized process and criteria that can be used to select candidates who would potentially stand for Flux in federal and other elections moving forward. As part of this, the state branches will need to be looped into the National Steerco as soon as possible to ensure that we are communicating efficiently and that all information is making its way to the relevant state branches, because ultimately that's where election campaigns will be managed from at a centralized federal level, but all of the actual work will be done at the state branch level. The next topic of discussion was around working groups. So it was clearly identified that working groups need to be set up as soon as possible. And with these working groups, in order to empower the working groups to take responsibility and have autonomy to carry out tasks, we will need to define roles and to delegate authority very clearly so that people can complete tasks and not have to be reverting to any sort of hierarchy to make decisions in order to get rudimentary tasks progressed. An initial way to approach this will be to identify and approach members to lead the initial working groups, or to get the working groups up and running. A number of people have self-identified either through their involvement at state branch level or by getting in contact at a federal level, outlining their specific relevant skills, and we need to coordinate all of these people, bring them together and empower them to lead the working groups and make a start. We will endeavour to have an initial meeting around this within 2 weeks of this meeting, and we will report back on progress for the next Steerco. In relation to state branches, all of the state branches should appoint representatives to attend Steerco. This will be primarily to fulfill an audit and reporting function, and ensuring that all of the information from Steerco is being communicated back at a state level, and ensuring that relevant issues from a state level are being communicated and managed at Steerco as appropriate. We will also be looking to the states to establish some standardized processes for reporting branch meetings, so that everything that happens can be communicated to active volunteers and also to interested members who want to be informed of the goings on. And a huge part of what the state branches will look to do and carry out over the coming months will involve liaising with working groups at a local level. And so there will be some work to ensure that the working groups are linked in appropriately to state branches. So defining priorities for the upcoming month. Initial priority is to get some definition around implementing the holacracy model for the organisation. Now, more information will be forthcoming on this, but in essence, the holacracy model is about structuring the organisation in such a way that decision-making authority is pushed towards the members and towards the grassroots as much as possible. It involves defining roles and accountabilities so that people are aware of the limit of their authority to take action, but ultimately it is about putting responsibility and authority back into the hands of people to take the appropriate steps to get things done. Next priority will be setting up the working groups by identifying people and getting meetings lined up to get these people together for an initial meeting to see how things will be structured and how things can work moving forward. State administration setup. So just communicating to the states about trying to get some standardized documentation and meeting structures and update processes for keeping members informed of all state meetings. There will be some work required around developing the candidate selection process and how that will be managed moving forward. We will look to clarify some details around a potential federal election campaign strategy, primarily about if we do go into a federal election, how we can ensure that we harness all of the interest that we will get from new members. We need to get a Slack channel set up for Steerco communications, and also setting communication standards for Steerco, as in expected turnaround time on emails and how to follow up when things aren't getting done. Also look to get the Steerco communications reports and videos, so this video and the information that is up on docs.flux.party, ensuring that that is all going up as expected. And then the finance team to continue with their fact finding around all things finance, ensuring that we are appropriately positioned to be able to receive donations from people and that donations can be allocated to the state parties and branches as appropriate. And the finance team will report back at the next Steerco. So as a result of all of that discussion, there was an updated task list, and I won't go through all of these tasks in detail, but this is just the overview of all of the various aspects that Steerco will be looking to manage over the coming weeks and month. And as always, I'll close out the meeting by thanking you for your time, and there will be just some basic slides, some slides here on the bios of the various Steerco members so that you can become more familiar with these people. Thank you. Until next time, thank you very much.